What's up, dudes? Maximilian here, bringing you guys an update to Titanfall news and information, and this is a big one because this is a fairly huge leak of info that has happened as a result of the beta and an art book that came out early for Titanfall. As you guys might know, we've had the beta access for a few days now, but some guys are actually able to get to the innards of the beta and get access to some of the data and information that'll be available for the game near launch. And some of these things include a variety of game modes, the variety of maps that'll be in the game, weapons, gear, perks, and everything like that. And let's talk about the few ones that I'm really interested in, and it's the maps. Mostly the game, I was thinking, was not going to have more than 10 maps because they're very large and varied. I'm kind of really satisfied with the 2 maps that are currently in the beta, and they've been a lot of fun, but I'm kind of curious to see how things can be if maps get even smaller. I'm also curious to see how these maps compare in size to other ones. Are these small maps? Are these large maps? Because they feel like they might be medium to large. Although there is actually going to be, and this is confirmed, at least 15 maps available in the game at launch. And let's just talk about a few of these because there has been actual images leaked of each one that look pretty interesting, as well as some throwbacks to previous games that these guys have worked on. The first one is Smuggler's Cove, looks pretty cool. The second one is Boneyard, that's right, Boneyard, and if you guys see what's going on here, there's actually creatures and stuff like that in this image, as well as like the bones and remnants of them in the past. So we're going to talk about that one in a sec, because that's a huge thing that's going to be happening with the game. The third one is Relic, and then Rise, Overlook, Outpost 207, which looks pretty freaking awesome in my opinion, Airbase, Lagoon, which I'm really happy with that they're actually going for a huge variety of different looking locales. My biggest issue with modern Call of Duty games and a lot of modern first-person maps is that they all look the same. They're all brown or gray, and it just pisses me off to no end. And this one looks really cool because it's got a lot of variety with like a giant lagoon and a huge ship in the middle. I only hope that some of these are actual small maps. They've also got Colony, O2, Nexus, Corporate, Training Ground, which is actually already in the beta. This is the one that you get in the final mission when you're training against AI. And I think that's about it. So there's a pretty good variety of maps that are in the game right now, and some of them that we might not actually have images for yet, but this is all that we can see. Other things that have been leaked as a result of this are different types of tactical abilities, as well as all the perks. And there's a lot of them in here, and there's a lot that we could talk about, but I'm just going to give you guys a link in the description below to the NeoGAF thread so you can see exactly what's going on. There's also a list of complete pilot weapons that are available, showing the ones that are in the beta and the ones that will be available outside of the beta, and I'm only a little disappointed by this because I kind of wanted a big variety of assault rifles and shotguns and stuff like that, and there isn't a huge variety. There's still some, and there's some available for each one, but that looks like something that might be updated over time. Who knows, we'll see how that goes, but as of right now I think each of the weapons handle pretty damn well. Moving on, there's a few other things that go into how Titan and Pilot perks are mixed together. Now the other big one is the confirmed list of modes that'll be available for multiplayer and the game in general, including Team Deathmatch, Capture the Titan, Capture the Flag, Hardpoint, Attrition, which I thought was actually technically Team Deathmatch, but I guess not, Uplink, Last Titan Standing, Elimination, Exfiltration, and ATDM, and that's actually quite a bit of variety. I'm glad that there was more than the initial 4 that a lot of people were discussing that were going to be in it. So the last one, and the thing that really is probably going to change this game quite a bit, and the general perspective of it, is that in the art book for Titanfall, which we don't have our hands on, only select members of the press do, there was images of monsters, pretty much like very mythical looking creatures and alien looking creatures scattered throughout the entire art book. Things that'll be available in different variety types, flying creatures, ground creatures, large ones like the size of dinosaurs and stuff like that. Very reminiscent to things that you might have seen in like Avatar, the movie, or examples of some flying stuff that looks very similar to things like in Panzer Dragoon games. Very awkward looking long-legged creatures, and they're actually kind of creepy looking for the most part. This is kind of shocking because Titanfall, all we knew is just a first-person aerial combat shooter that is like a war of 2 nations or 2 sides or robot versus man and stuff like that. And now we're introduced this element that there's creatures, that there's this huge part of like different elements of the world trying to take over or fight the people that are fighting on these planets. They actually talk about this certain type of like repellent to keep the monsters away from you. And that's going to be kind of nuts if this stuff is integrated into multiplayer, especially campaign multiplayer. It actually opens up Titanfall quite a bit more than I thought it was going to go in a specific direction, and I think that's a good call because, dude, holy heck if you have to actually fight monsters and stuff like that as like AI opponents when you're in multiplayer games. Who knows, the campaign multiplayer is separate from competitive multiplayer, we'll see how that goes. But either way, I'm liking where Titanfall is going right now. I'm really happy that there's more than just like 8 to 10 maps, which is what I was presuming to be the case for the game when it was going to launch, but 15 maps is a good number. It's the same number that most modern first-person shooters are released with. Holy crap, dude, I cannot wait to get my hands on the final version of this game. Stay tuned, guys, I got more footage of Titanfall coming very soon, as well as footage of me using the Ogre Titan, which I haven't seen that much on the internet of yet. A lot of Strider footage, and we can talk about the new Titans and how they act a lot differently than the base Titan that everyone's using in the beta. Thank you, dudes, very much for watching. My name is Maximilian, and stay tuned for more videos featuring Titanfall.